I want to welcome you back to our daily devotions. And during our conference, we had the opportunity to hear Dr. Walt Larimore talk about developing a healthy lifestyle and renewing a man's health. Today, he's going to talk about something a little bit different. He's going to talk about the home and the family. He shared with me a story that was a tremendous blessing to me, and I've asked him for this time in devotions to share with you. Yeah. Walt, you told me a story earlier today that just blessed my heart about the fifth generation. Tell us that story.
Well, Sammy, one of the things that I've learned in this spiritual walk is the importance of a spiritual heritage, of both having one and building one. But I became a Christian in college, and I wasn't aware that there was a spiritual heritage in our family, and I mourned that. After my dad passed away, I was going through his office, and I found two books that were written by a preacher who was an itinerant Methodist preacher in Missouri, maybe one of the first ones back in the early 1800s. And it was books of his sermons. Well, one of his sermons was about the iniquity of the fathers falling to the next generations all the way to the fourth generation. He talked about how the wrongs of a family can be spread. But then in his next sermon, he talked about the fifth generation. He talked about building a heritage that will spread to the fifth generation, and even more importantly, about praying for that fifth generation. And as I was reading that sermon, it blessed me. But Sammy, it blessed me even more when I looked at our family history and found out that I was his fifth generation.
Wow.
That this man had been praying for me. And my two take-homes from that were this. Number one, even for the men listening who don't know they have a spiritual history, there are likely people who've been praying for them. Yeah. And to thank the Father for the heritage that we have, but then even more so, to begin the process of building a spiritual heritage for our kids and grandkids, and to begin praying not only for that fourth generation, but for that fifth generation. It is a heritage that we can begin today and leave for an eternity.
Well, the guys who were at the conference heard me talk about my grandmother and my great-grandparents and the heritage that I had no clue about. And so you're coming from two different people. I think they're hearing something that's strong. But I think the strongest thing that I would like to leave with the men today is this. You today are building a heritage for your children, your grandchildren, all the way to the fourth, and yes, as Walt said, to the fifth generation. Isn't that exciting? It's an exciting thing, and when you get a hold of that, it'll renew your heart, it'll renew your home, and it'll give you a bright future and some wonderful positive thoughts for your life.